Could you do CubeSats
Well,
now?
that's the goal, is a NanoSat launcher, a CubeSat launcher. That's probably 3 years plus away, but those are the pieces I'm developing. That's why I'm working really hard on the high mass ratio tanks. An orbital launcher has to have a lot of performance and has to be really light. So I've been working hard on high mass ratio tanks, been working on engines, working on really lightweight guidance and control. The wire that connects the sensors matters. In the weight sheet, it matters. By comparison, the Armadillo vehicle is Battlestar Galactica. It's huge. So that's where my focus has been. And part of it has been, where on this hard problem do I have the resources, time, and capability to nibble? And it's on the small side. So that's where I've been working on it.
So how will you then expand? Do you eventually want to get volunteers? Do you eventually want to have employees?
If you read my blog, you will discover that I have been asking that question in its various forms for several years now. And not clear I have an answer. I do know that, one of the possibilities is put together a real formal business plan and go out and get investors and all of that. I still have things I can do to reduce risk and make my story more credible before I have to do that. I can take the technologies I've developed and fly something fairly significant, 100,000 feet, or maybe even the von Karman line, with the budget I have and the time I have in the next 12 to 18 months. I really want to have something flown successfully before Space Access next year. And this is my favorite conference. I like coming here. It's kind of a geeky place for a gathering of the geeks. That's, then the next plan is, right now, the industry's undergoing a bit of a transformation. They're starting to be people do real useful funded work with CubeSat-sized things. At the same token, the big guys are starting to see budget pressure, which is causing them to cut off some of the NanoSat work. Basically, we're going to cut off the fingers to save the arm, and so at some point in time that has to flip over, because long term our present budget expenditures are not sustainable, and I think that there's real opportunity, the yin and yang of opportunity, and I think there's real opportunity when you have to reduce the costs by orders of magnitude and still accomplish the missions and the tasks and the fundamentals. So I think that's 5 years out.
What sort of engineering problems do you need to solve before you can get the more experience that you need and have a successful flight by this time next year?
Well, I've got a rocket motor I'm happy with. I'm very close to having a tank I'm happy with. I have a new version of my guidance and controls that's much lighter. I basically have to integrate those pieces and fly it. I basically have all the pieces. Now, integration is a big step. It's at least as big a project as each of the individual pieces by themselves. You got to, figure out how to put it all together and with not adding weight to the world, et cetera, and make it all work. That's the task.